Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Village of Oak Lawn. This is the Board of Trustees' regular meeting agenda. We are here on the 9th of September, 13th day, 2022. And we have a phone call coming in.
Love it. I'm not here.
Tim?
Yeah,
Okay, you're here. All right, good. Again, 9/13/2022 at 7:30 PM. This is meeting number 2022-16. Roll call, please.
Mayor Vorderer,
Present.
Trustee Mallow,
Here.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Here.
Trustee Stalker,
Here.
Trustee Sack,
Here.
Trustee Pembroke.
Here.
And can we have a motion to allow Trustee Desmond to participate by phone?
Second.
Second. Roll call.
Trustee Mallow,
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker,
Yes.
Trustee Sack,
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Tim, can you hear?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Veterans, first responders may salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, I understand we have a public comment tonight.
Yes, we have one Mike Sutko.
Mike, would you step up to the podium? Are you an Oak Lawn resident?
Long time Oak Lawn resident.
We know that.
Yes, I am. I'm here today to compliment the people involved in creating a fantastic, entertaining weekend that just passed. It took a lot of work, a lot of effort, and it was mostly under the direction of Paul Mallow and the Special Events Commission. But certainly to be singled out for unique service in that regard was Bill Meyer and the Public Works Department. They did a fantastic job laying everything out for the first time. When I walked in, I thought I was walking into Millennium Park with the big stage and a large number of people. I'm sure it set records. And then finally, the single person that I thought was a hero of the weekend was Dee Adasiak. Dee organized the events and got everybody on the same page, worked with the vendors, worked with everyone else, and she is to be commended for her effort in that regard. And that's what I wanted to say today.
Thank you, sir. I could have not said it better. Thank you. All right, conflict of interest disclosure. Does any trustee have any conflict with any items on tonight's agenda? Hearing none, we will move on to the presentation of a life-saving award, Officer Nicholas Richter. Chief, do you want to present this?
Yeah, before we call Nick up, I actually have another announcement to make for the police department. Earlier today, Lieutenant Steve McNeela graduated as a member of the 283rd session of the FBI National Academy. The graduation took place at the National Academy in Quantico, Virginia. Nationally, fewer than 1% of officers have the opportunity to attend this program. Internationally known for its academic excellence, the National Academy offers 10 weeks of advanced communication, leadership, and fitness training. Participants must have proven records as professionals within their agencies to attend. On average, these officers have 21 years of law enforcement experience and usually return to their agencies to serve an executive-level position. The 283rd session consisted of 235 law enforcement officers, 49 states, the District of Columbia. The class included members of law enforcement agencies from 21 countries, 5 military organizations, and 5 federal and civilian agencies. So Steve's on his way back. He'll be back tomorrow, so he'll have 10 weeks of stories for the rest of us. So congratulations to Steve. We're very proud of him. Steve McNeela, McNeela. We'll probably be putting out a press release a little bit. Okay, and Nick, come on up. Nick is a 17-year veteran of the Oklahoma Police Department. He's currently assigned to our day shift as an evidence technician, and he's also a member of our special response team. On 8/8 at 9/9 in the morning, Officer Richter was dispatched to 10400 South Murray, reference an unresponsive subject that was discovered by a medical transport driver. Upon arrival, Officer Richter observed the subject laying on the floor of the residence and not breathing. Officer Richter checked the subject for a carotid pulse with negative results and found him to be warm to the touch. Officer Richter then began performing CPR on the subject and continued for approximately 2 minutes until the arrival of Oak Lawn Fire Department. At that point, the paramedics confirmed that the subject had no pulse, took over CPR, and transported him to the Christ Hospital for treatment. At approximately 2 o'clock on that same day, Sergeant McNulty followed up with OLFD EMS Chief James Yeager for an update on the condition of the subject. Chief Yeager advised that the subject was alert and was getting ready to have his intubation tube removed so he could breathe on his own. Chief Yeager advised that Officer Richter's actions saved the life of the subject. Officer Richter used his medical training and experience during a stressful situation to save a life. Officer Nicholas Richter is most deserving of the Oak Lawn Police Department Life Saving Award.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Officer. You make this police department proud. All right, we will move on now to a presentation by CDM Smith.
Mr. Mayor and trustees, thank you for inviting me tonight to speak to Oak Lawn residents about the next project for Oak Lawn Regional Water Systems Water Main Project. My name is Matt Rembold. I'm an engineer with the firm CDM Smith, and I've been lucky enough to serve on the design team for this project, multiple phases of construction so far. So, I don't know if my clicker's working. Oh, here we go. So Oak Lawn is in the middle of a multi-phase project installing multiple miles of new water main to help improve service to Oak Lawn customers, and including reliability. Work in this next phase will be conducted along Southwest Highway, including through the intersections of Cicero Avenue, 95th Street, and Central Avenue. Work in Cicero and 95th will be conducted next year, but it's today I wanted to talk more about some of the components of the work in Central Avenue, which may impact residents' day-to-day activities. Next one. So zoom in here on the intersection of Southwest Highway and Central Avenue. We're showing, oh, thank you. We're showing a work area to accommodate the installation of new water main. That's the area outlined in black, and it's basically going to require the closure of the 2 eastbound lanes of Southwest Highway. And that will reduce traffic through the intersection to 1 lane in each direction. And we expect this traffic control to be up starting next week and through January. In addition to the lane closures shown here, additional lane closures may be required depending on contractors' activities, and we'll have flaggers on site to help get traffic through. We'll keep the crosswalks open, and we expect construction to be conducted between primarily 7 to 3, sometimes longer days to 5 p.m. While the traffic control is up along Southwest Highway, we'll have no left turns posted. We're asking residents not to turn left to or from Southwest Highway to keep the traffic flowing along Southwest Highway. We'll have a couple of side streets and driveway closures associated with this, but we've required the contractor to cross the side streets and alleys within 3 days and driveways within 1. In addition to the work along Southwest Highway, we'll also be crossing Central Avenue. And to keep lanes open along Central, we'll be conducting this work in 3 distinct phases, each lasting approximately 2 weeks. During this time, 1 lane of direction along Central in each direction will be in place between 92nd Street and 94th Street. In addition, there will be other certain turning restrictions. If residents' driveway is behind the maintenance track, they'll still be able to access the driveway again, but we'll just ask them to turn right onto Central. We'll have some crosswalk detours in place, especially to allow children over into St. Gerald School. And while we do allow construction to be conducted 24/7 to keep the contractor on schedule, we do think they will be normal hours Monday through Friday. And just some general construction coordination. We've been in contact with Oaklawn Police and Fire to discuss the lane closures. Bill Meyer and myself met with St. Gerald Parish yesterday to discuss potential impacts to the school and to learn about their day-to-day operations. We'll post notices to impacted residents where we'll need driveway closures. We'll coordinate with Oaklawn about the road and alley closures to avoid any disruptions to trash service. We don't expect many impacts to utilities. We've been working with gas, telephone, cable companies to ensure we know where their services are. So we'll protect them while excavating. And then we're also working with the water department to make sure we protect the existing water mains. And a member from CDM Smith will be on site during construction at all times, so that will help us be better able to coordinate with the village when anything comes up. And if a resident has any concerns, they can discuss those concerns with that on-site representative. And with that, I'd be happy to take any questions.
I appreciate you coming out. I asked this presentation to be put up because of the amount of construction that's going to go on and the amount of traffic that's going to be affected by this construction. I do appreciate you coming out and explaining it. This is the first part, and it's basically a three-phase, as you said. Once this is complete, then you're going to be going to the 95th Street, and then you're coming back to the Cicero Avenue.
We expect Cicero to be March through June, and then 95th June through September.
All right, so then you're going to the Cicero
So
Avenue.
next, correct.
But as you can see with the amount of work that's going to be done, and this is part of the master water project. It
Correct.
doesn't just benefit the Village of Oak Lawn residents, but this also benefits the communities downstream from us, and this has to be done. And many people ask me, you know, why is this project taking so long? And I think it's fair to let the residents know that this part of this was a combination of some negotiations with the state and the village and the county. So could you update us anything on why this took so long?
Sure. So Central Avenue is a Cook County right-of-way, Cook County operated road. Cicero and 95th Street are IDOT-controlled roads. And so there was just a very long permitting process with them. They had significant concerns about constructing across those major intersections, some of the impacts that may have. There was significant coordination to work out the stages, such as the ones I showed for Central, to stage across to allow multiple lanes of traffic open at one time. So that coordination did take significant effort with those two agencies.
And this choice of project, there were two types that you could have done. You could have either done projection boring, or you could have done the one that was told to us that we had to do, which is the pit.
So yes, you could directionally bore underneath those roads versus the method that we are proceeding with, which is the open excavation, an open trench. And so just working out the construction cost estimates, we believe overall stretch across the program, being able to open trench instead of directionally bore beneath the roads would save the program upwards of $20 million.
Right, so and it makes sense, but I just wanted to let everyone know that this is a big key to getting the pipes that have already been put down all along Southwest Highway connected to get it out towards the other communities that would be affected.
Correct.
It is going to be painful, because anyone that lives in a neighborhood or takes Southwest Highway, you can see that's a lot of traffic flow reduction, and Southwest Highway's turned into a favorite cut-through coming through Oak Lawn, so I know that that's going to cause some issues. And then Central Avenue also has a tremendous amount of traffic flow. So I just want to make sure that all residents in the Village of Oak Lawn are aware that this is going to be going on and is going to take some time. Hopefully, we have a nice winter and they can continue working through the winter. But knowing that things like that don't always happen, prepare for a snowy winter. And if that happens, that could prolong it. correct?
It could.
All right. The only other thing I would ask is, this is a great venue for communication. I would expect that when we get an update of the project sometime around December, January, and then explain to us what's going to happen when we come into the spring. And then, once this is all done in 2023, we will not have to worry about it.
Correct, we will be out of Oak Lawn.
That will be very, very welcome to us on that. And then the only thing I would say when it comes to street closures and driveway closures, if we could not only post it, but at least get some type of communication out to the residents that are going to be affected, whether it's someone knocking on a door or email, or knocking on the door with an email or a letter, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yes, we could do that. We've definitely done mailings, completed mailings before, working with the different towns that we've constructed through, so I suspect we could do something similar for Oak Lawn.
Excellent. And the only other thing I'd like to update on, that's, what is it, a 72-inch pipe or?
60-inch, 5-foot diameter pipe.
5-foot diameter pipe that's going to be going underneath these streets and these intersections, and it's replacing, what, a 30?
36 to 48-inch pipe. I forget the age of it, but, Oak Lawn probably knows that there have been multiple breaks, that this project seeks to increase the reliability of the overall system.
Well, not only does it seek to increase the reliability, it's going to, again, part of this board commitment to the residents, not only in the village of Oak Lawn, but to all residents, is to update our infrastructure and continue to supply a steady stream of reliable water. So thank you for the update. I have no more questions.
Any other trustee with any questions?
I have one. Just in regards to IDOT, you mentioned IDOT. Is there any communication with them as far as the traffic signals? Will they be changed, or the left turn lane like you spoke of? Is it just a sign, or are they not going to ever turn to green where people think that they can turn there?
So as part of this project, we are installing temporary signals that will replace the existing ones.
I see, okay.
So at Central, if you drive through Central right now, those signals are already up. And so yes, for the turns on Southwest, you won't see the left arrow pop on. That won't be a phase anymore. On Central, it will be for 2 of the 3 stages. For that one stage where left turns will be restricted.
Gotcha.
Again, that signal will be reflected. It
Perfect.
won't.
So these are your own specific lights that,
Correct.
and the other ones are off?
They will be off and back.
Perfect, perfect. Love to see that happen. Love that too.
That's the new ones that are going in for the train station there. Okay, thank you. Any other questions? One comment, Chief, it seems to be a period of confusion. Would you supplement the crossing guards there during the time the kids are coming and going to school, or at least monitor if in fact we need to add some additional safety for our kids at St. Gerald's? Thank you, sir. With that, thank you for your presentation.
Of course, thank you.
And good work. This has been going on for at least 5 years that I know of.
Yeah,
It's a big project. It's over
Construction starts
$220
in
million for infrastructure improvements. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you.
so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mr.
All right.
Just-
Yes.
Just for the record, the master water plan started well over 17 years ago, and we're finally getting.
Well, I mean, construction, I could be off a little bit, but
5 years on construction.
yeah, I would say 5 years on construction. All right, we'll move on to number 7, approval of the closed meeting minutes of 2022-11 dated July 12th, 2022. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes.
Trustee Pember.
Motion approved. Number 8, approval of regular meeting minutes 2022-14 dated August 9th, 2022. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
And 9, approval of special meeting minutes 2022-15 dated August 16th, 2022.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes.
Trustee
Motion
Pembroke.
approved. New business by trustees. We'll start in District 3. Trustee Mello.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to mention a little bit about the festival that we had this weekend. Just some of the positive feedback from the community that I received. There were people that were not completely on board with the changes, and, they did come up to me. They did say that they were, their minds were changed, and after attending and seeing what they saw, they were very pleasantly surprised by the adjustments. So I do have a list of thank yous here that I just kind of want to get out, and I'm going to be reading these, so I don't want to forget anybody. So my Arts and Events Commission, first of all, for staying true to the vision, the new vision, making the positive changes, meaningful changes that, especially those that were there all weekend. My chairwoman of the AEC, Jamie Butler, other members of the AEC, Carrie Mallow, Jinsey Harton, Tony Krokos, Andrea Zoomhagen, Steve Sutko, Mike Sutko, and a slew of the others who volunteered their time to help. A few of the husbands of Andrea, Carrie, and Jamie they were there all weekend. I really appreciate that. Bill Meyer, thank you. Your efforts, your crew, and making the on-the-spot changes that we needed to make that I requested, and I appreciate you getting that done. All the help that was needed on Sunday to finish this fest the way that I wanted to finish it, which was on the main stage, and it was thanks to Bill's crew that kind of made that happen. Any leaf blowers, anything they could to dry up that stage, which really helped to make that Sunday work out closer to how I imagined, but not quite as filled with people because of the rain. But Gary Godino, his property maintenance staff for volunteering all weekend. The executive administration office, our village manager, Tom Phelan, Kim Roach, and especially, as Mike Succo mentioned, Dia Daziak, her tireless efforts, not only before the event, but all weekend long being there was a tremendous help. Chief Vittorio, his department, Chief Riddle, and your department, thank you for keeping every member of this village and every member that attended this fest safe. We could not have done this without you. All the other village employees, I know there were numerous ones that I met because they were working. They volunteered their time to be in the tents or in the boxes selling tickets and things like that. So thank you to them. The other thanks are to our community for coming out, supporting the charities that we were supporting this weekend, Park Lawn, the Courage Program, and the Live Like Abby group. The St. Gerald's, St. Linus, St. Catherine's, St. Germain's men's clubs for putting together crews of people, volunteers. We could not have done this each and every year without you. We really appreciate them coming out and helping when the village needed you. And to Park Lawn specifically, because their continued efforts on Sunday, every Sunday, they have numerous people there to help, and I appreciate that. Lastly, to this board, our mayor, for letting myself, my committee run with this idea to put the changes in. I thank you for your trust in me and my commission to put this together. So that's really all I have as far as the fest goes. The only other mention is we do still have 2 remaining Sunday concerts, September 28th and October 2nd. On Sunday here on the Green, they both start at 6:30 due to the time change a little bit with the darkness. So 6:30 to 8:30. So we hope to see you there. So that ends my report.
Thank you, Trustee Miller. It's appropriate that we thank you for your commitment, your time, and your effort. Most impressed for a part-time trustee to take that on and run an event. Thousands of people, literally thousands of people, I think. If we didn't do a head count, did we?
12 to 15,000 over.
12 to 15,000 people attended that event, and I don't think we had one little minor incident, Chief, am I correct, or?
Sunday night, Trustee Mallow stepped in right away, and we helped him out and just escorted somebody out without an issue.
Well, when you can put that many people together for 3 days with alcohol, I might point out, and a good time dancing and rocking and have one minor incident speaks to the integrity of the people of this village. And I'd like to extend that thanks to the people and to all the staff that make this village run. Without a doubt, you are the blood that keeps Oak Lawn town I want to live in, in a town I'm proud to be the mayor of. All right, we'll move on to District 2. Trustee Alex Oliniechek.
Yeah, Mayor and Board, again, I just want to thank the Fall Music Festival team for the great job that they did. I think, Paul, you summed it up really well, that it was a team effort. Everyone worked hard. I did enjoy the time that I was out there. The venue was phenomenal. I can tell you that I've heard nothing but positive comments on the new setup, and thank you for all of your efforts. And just want to piggyback on the officer, Nicholas Reicher, who got the life-saving award. When we look at our police officers, so many times we don't understand all the training that they go through, and especially with some of the things that are coming out nationally about the negativity on our police. And when you have an officer that is trained, and our police officers have proven that they are trained very, very well, that they're able to use their training to save someone's life, I think that that's extremely, extremely powerful, because when you look at statistically, a police officer is going to be the first man or woman on the scene of an accident, of a fire, or of a life-saving opportunity like that. And for him to be able to come in there and keep that person going and saving their life until the paramedics came, and then our ALS was able to get him or her to the hospital, I think that's, again, another hidden gem and quiet thing that people don't talk about, is all the life-saving that police officers do on a daily basis. And again, I appreciate the professionalism of our police department. I will tell you that when I hear of Steve McNeila going to a training like that, and Steve is a product of this village of Oak Lawn, of this neighborhood, and to be able to invest in our community by getting him some more training. And I think one of the key things you said is that typically people who go through this training will end up in some type of a senior command position if they want that. And again, it takes a long time to train a police officer. It takes a long time to develop the professionalism that our police department has, and building that bench and handing that baton on and getting the next level ready. I can't say more positive about our police department and all of our staff here, but just on a night like tonight, especially with, some of the legislation that's coming due and some of the challenges that we're going to have as a state of Illinois, I think it's important that our police department knows that we back you, we support you, we want you to have the best training you possibly can to continue doing the job. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Trustee. District 1, Trustee Desmond.
Thank you, Mayor. No new business.
Thank you, Trustee. District 4, Trustee Pembroke.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I just want to reiterate some of the comments that, particularly to Chief Vittorio, your department makes us so proud over and over and over again. I want to thank you very much for that. I am very appreciative, and I know many of our residents are also. And then Trustee Mallow, you and your team just did an outstanding job. Walking around, I talked to a number of people from my district. They were so impressed with it this year and thought it was great, and I thought it was a fabulous concert. So all the people that volunteered, it certainly makes Oak Lawn look great. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Trustee. District 5, Trustee Stalker.
Yeah, I'd just like to add my comments, Paul, to thank you, Paul, for having the insight and put in the effort to change the fest. I really feel that this is a great fest. I think you did a great job, and I appreciate it. I'm sure the Village of Oak Lawn appreciates it. I'd like to thank the volunteers that work the fest. It's not a job, it's fun. I worked on Friday night, it was fun. You get to meet your constituents, and a lot of people are just having a good time. But again, thank you. I really appreciate your work. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee. District 6, Trustee Sock.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I got a few things today. I do want to mention Saturday, September 24th, there's a benefit being held for Officer Patsy Swank, who tragically took her life a couple months ago. Her brother was the one that spoke during the meeting with the public comments after the incident that happened. It's being held at Clancy's over here on 95th Street. It's running from 1 to 7. It's got an open bar. There's buffet. It's $30 in advance, $40 at the door. And again, that's Saturday, September 24th. One thing I want to talk about, I've had over my year as being trustee, one thing that people always came to me about especially when we were having all these incidents, was about what can we do to make things better, and why is, all the police activity. Well, what I would say now, if somebody called me up, because it's not out there as public knowledge yet, but we see these reports, these flock cameras, they're amazing and they're working. Many of the incidents that have happened in this village were happening with people driving into the village in stolen cars. Now, when a stolen car crosses into the village, we're notified immediately. The difference this is making, we can't even quantify right now because of things are being prevented that could be happening. So, with Chief Vittoria and his staff and the way that the officers are responding to these right away, and as soon as it comes in, they get the alert on their car, and next thing you know, they're following them around the neighborhood, pulling them over, and so that's what I'd love for the residents to understand. We are constantly improving the safety of the village, and again, supporting our police and fire departments 100%. Thirdly, of course, I got to jump in and get on the Paul Mello bandwagon here, because, Paul, you did a phenomenal job. It was great working with you this weekend and being part of this. What it takes to put this together is just, mind-blowing. So, kudos to you, your staff, and everybody. And one last thank you, again, he was mentioned earlier, is Bill Meyer and his staff outside of Fall on the Green. There's so much going on in the village right now with street repairs and things like everything going on. And most of my calls and emails and texts that I get go to Bill Meyer. And I'm telling you, within 24 to 48 hours, I've got residents calling me back saying, wow, that was really quick, thank you. And I always tell them, I'm like, well, there's this guy in Public Works called Bill Meyer who gets things done. I said, he's the real one to thank, but I've told him many times, I said, he just makes me and the rest of us look good with the reaction time that his team handles things with. It's unbelievable. Sometimes it's within a few hours. So, Bill, thank you to you and all your guys. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee. And I just want to piggyback on your camera comment. Chief, I think we have about a dozen of the 40-some cameras installed.
A little bit more than that, the ones that are on Oakland property that the village manager waived the permit for, and some of the businesses that we initially thought we'd have to go with IDOT or county. We approached the businesses and said, hey, can we put them on your property? And a lot of them said yes, so, we've got about a third of them up.
About a third?
Yeah, about a third of them.
Isn't that great? A third of the cameras up, and that's the results we're seeing.
I think I read the reports on 3 stolen cars, which resulted in arrests of the offenders and even a gun confiscated in one of them. So these cameras are a great tool to help this police department and keep the residents safe as these idiots, excuse my terminology, but want to come through our town and wreak havoc. We've given you a tool to help you do that. Thank you, Chief.
I'd also encourage the residents, if they have a home security system, to register through the village website. It takes 5 minutes, it's free. I worked with trustee Sock on an incident. I said, hey, have her register her camera, have her send it in, and then 5 minutes later, the detective sergeant was coming to my office like, hey, I got all the pictures already, so that works just as well too.
Good work. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to the village manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't want to jump too hard on the Paul Mello bandwagon. I think everybody did that, other than to say that a year ago this time, literally the meeting after Fall on the Green, while we were pleased with the results, I think if everyone recalls, it was a really kind of disheartening time because we had all those unfortunate incidents involving youth. And it's distressing to still see today people putting out their misinformation for whatever their reasons about how we restricted completely, would not let kids in. I was there all 3 days for most of the time, as Paul Mello was and others, and I not only saw hundreds of kids there, heard from many parents who made a point, who were aware of the situation, to come up and say thank you. And that was the driving force last year. It was because we were fearful for the kids, not the kids that were causing the havoc, the kids that were suffering, the kids that were innocently playing on the village green and seeing a pack of jackals, for lack of a better term, running by and knocking them over, fighting. 2 or 3 different incidents of Fight Club type activities, and the fear and the overall menacing environment that was there. Trustee Mallow made that point right afterwards, that we need to change this. And that change, I can't tell you. I've been involved in the Fall in the Green Festival for 17 years, and I was not even prepared for the difference that Billy Meyer's team. I mean, you think that it's not going to look much different, but when I went out there on Friday, and I made a point to not look at it too often while it was being set up, because I wanted to see that change. It was, as Mike said, it was just as if you were at, Northerly Island or Ravinia with the lights, and I just want to make a point to say, for all those who are still putting forth this nonsense that kids could not go, there were hundreds. They were in strollers, toddlers, teenagers. That boy band night had dozens and dozens of kids up there dancing, and it was just really nice to see. And to those people who took the time to let us know that they appreciated the police effort, the fire department's effort, the safety, the presence of the police. We're all residents as well, and I can't tell you, I mean, I sat there in awe watching Friday and Saturday night, the crowd, how friendly and happy everybody was. And then one thing I did want to point out, we thank a lot of people. The financial resources we get to put on that festival largely comes from our village vendors, businesses that we do buy from or we bank with, and without their support, it would cost the taxpayers dollars. And it used to. 17 years ago, when it was all said and done, the taxpayers were out $25,000, $50,000, $75,000. And now, after changes in the past that have continued, we have money left over that benefits great organizations. So all in all, great job, Paul, the team, Dee, Billy. And I know Paul's feeling this way because he called or texted me 36 times since Sunday. He can't wait for the next one.
Next weekend, Tom?
He's having a little bit of withdrawal from Fall Music Festival. But great job, and that's all I have this evening.
Thank you, sir. All right, number 12, the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are routine and brought forward at the direction of the Board of Trustees, village manager, or village committees, and will be enacted with one motion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. A, request the Board of Trustees approval of the Sully Shuffle Memorial Run to be held Sunday, September 25th, 2022. B, request the Board of Trustees approval for World Vision 6K for water to be held Saturday, September 17th, 2022. C is a request for the Board of Trustees approval of Sally Fest to be held on Saturday, September 24th, 2022 at Clancy's, 95th Street, 5763 West 95th Street. D, request the Board of Trustees approval and direction of the Fire and Police Commission to promote one police sergeant off the current eligibility list due to retirement. E, request Board of Trustees approval and direction of the Fire and Police Commission to hire one firefighter paramedic due to a pending retirement. F, request the Board of Trustees approval and direction of the Fire and Police Commission to promote two fire engineers due to retirement. G, request Board of Trustee approval of a separation agreement between the Village of Oak Lawn and Jeff Seebeck. H, ordinance 22-1653, an ordinance amending Title I, Chapter 6 of the Oak Lawn Village Code to redistrict the districts of the Village of Oak Lawn and adopt an official district map of the Village of Oak Lawn following the 2020 decennial census. And I, ordinance 22-1654, an ordinance amending Title IV of the Oak Lawn zoning ordinance and repealing Chapter 3-33 of the Oak Lawn Village Code pertaining to a ban on short-term rentals. J, Resolution 22-1649, a resolution approving the commission and committee appointments in the Village of Oak Lawn, Cook County, Illinois. K, Resolution 22-16 2022-50, a resolution approving a proposal from Gallagher Asphalt Corporation to provide resurfacing services to the Village of Oak Lawn, Cook County, Illinois, and L, Resolution 22-16-51, a resolution approving an agreement between the Village of Oak Lawn, Cook County, Illinois, and MCSI Limited for municipal collection services. Motion on that agenda.
Motion to approve.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I'd like to remove item A and G for discussion.
A and G. All right, we have a motion to approve everything but A and G. Roll call, please.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. A, request Board of Trustees approval of the Sully Shuffle Memorial Run to be held Sunday, September 25th, 2022. Motion, please.
I'd like the motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, the Sully Shuffle has been run by volunteers, and we all know that it's been, the money that's been raised for it has gone to great cause. And the thing about the Sully Shuffle is this is going to be their last year that the group is getting together after 17 years. And I think it's a special event, a special occasion that's truly going to honor Skip Sullivan, who was a major positive influence, not only in Oak Lawn High School, but the Village of Oak Lawn. And so what I would like to ask the board is I'll amend my motion to waive all fees associated with permitting and running this, to give them the ability to continue to raise funds and put all the money towards their charitable cause.
Okay, is there a second on that motion to amend?
Second.
Roll call on the amendment? Well,
Trust-
we already have a roll call on the ordinance.
Yeah, but I amended to,
It's amended.
Okay, we need to do a second vote. Go ahead.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Okay, motion to approve. All right, G.
And just on that, I'd just like to make note that they have donated over $231,000 to support the American Parkinson's Disease Association Midwest chapter in these fundraising events. So I appreciate the village board's support of waiving the fees. Thank you.
Okay, and G, request Board of Trustees approval of a separation agreement between the Village of Oak Lawn and Jeff Seebeck. Motion, please.
Like the motion to table?
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Motion approved. All right, 13 is the village clerk's report.
We have the approval of disbursement resolution number 2022-16-1 dated August 23rd, 2022, in the amount of $1,428,926.05.
A motion to approve.
Motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes. You don't have to be sorry.
Motion approved.
Approval of disbursement resolution number 2022-16D2 dated September 13th, 2022, in the
Motion.
amount of $7,430,646.97.
Motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Motion approved. Thank you, Madam Clerk. All right, we move on to the village president's report. I have a little bit of sad news here to report tonight. You know, Oak Lawn's a great place to live, like we talked about all night long, but it's because of the people that live and volunteer and give their time. Many of you may not have known Ken Escoffin, but he was one of those people. Ken served Oak Lawn as a member of the Business Development Commission for many years. He was instrumental in contacting Hog Wild into opening the restaurant in Oak Lawn. He also helped organize the Oak Lawn Car Show. He was a member of the Knights of Columbus, and he proudly served in the Air Force. He was a teacher at Morton West, where he taught printing. His wife Debbie and Ken were instrumental in completing the Kale Sag Bike Trail. And unfortunately, Ken left us. But we should appreciate the great effort and hours, days and weeks, and years that he devoted to making Oak Lawn a better place to live. It was an honor for the village to work with him. His loving father and grandfather will be missed, and thanks, Ken, for all you've done. He's being waked tonight at Chapel Hill's Funeral Parlor on 113th and Central.
Mr. Mayor, can I add to that?
Sure.
I personally knew Ken Stoffergen for the majority of my life. Ken was a very close personal friend of my father's, and Ken was one of those guys that quietly sat behind the scenes and worked very, very hard to get things done. I was at the wake, and he just a tremendous man in his neighborhood, in his community, in his church, but very, very quiet man and very proud man, and he's going to be missed in this neighborhood, in this village. So thank you for recognizing Ken Stoffergen and his family. But the Cal Sag Trail was one of the most memorable times, because in a time when money was tough and people said it couldn't be done, he was on a team that made it happen. And I'll never forget driving that trail with him and his wife. It was a very proud moment. So thank you for saying those positive words about Ken.
Thank you, trustee. I have a couple of proclamations I have to read here tonight. A proclamation of the Village of Oak Lawn, Cook County, Illinois, proclaiming September 2022 as the Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month in Oak Lawn. Whereas the American Cancer Society confirms that ovarian cancer is the leading cause of death in women more than any other cancer of female reproductive systems, with over 21,000 detections and approximately 14,000 deaths each year. Whereas typically women who are middle-aged or older, who have a family history of ovarian or breast cancer, or have had certain cancers in the past, are at increased risks of developing ovarian cancer. Whereas it is absolutely essential that women know the risk factors associated with the disease, so this public awareness campaign strives to increase knowledge about this disease in recognition of the fact that the best defense against ovarian cancer is early detection. And whereas the month of September is dedicated to bolstering ovarian cancer prevention and awareness, and taking action to lessen the tragic toll of this devastating disease takes on families across the country, while we honor those who have lost and continue to show our support for women who courageously fight on. Therefore, Terry Vorder, Mayor of the Village of Oak Lawn, do proclaim September 2022 to be Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month in Oak Lawn, and urge all residents to educate themselves on all the information and preventive efforts in the fight to treat and eventually eradicate this disease. Along 95th Street, you'll see teal ribbons in this month of September to commemorate and make aware of everybody on this cancer. I lost a very good friend. She was a Park District Commissioner, Sue Murphy, to ovarian cancer. She didn't even have any symptoms. She was diagnosed to stage 4 and only had another year to live. So it is a frightening cancer, and women should be aware of the fact that early detection is the best way to treat it. So have discussions with your doctor on the subject. All right, I have a proclamation, the Village of Oak Lawn, Cook County, Illinois, proclaiming, I'm sorry, I got a second one here. Okay. Proclamation of the Village of Oak Lawn, Cook County, Illinois, proclaiming the week of September 17th through September 23rd, 2022 as Constitution Week in Oak Lawn. Whereas it is a privilege and duty of American people to commemorate September 17, 2022, as the 235th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America with appropriate ceremonies and articles, I now, therefore, I, Terry Vorder, by virtue of authority vested in me as mayor of the village of Oak Lawn, Cook County, Illinois, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17 through September 23rd, 2022 as Constitutional Week, and urge all citizens to study the Constitution, reflect on the privileges of being an American citizen with all the rights and responsibilities which that privilege involves. That's all I have. I'll take a motion
So move.
to go into executive session. Second? Roll call?
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.